Welcome back to Black Swan Outdoors. Today we're going to talk about a go bag. Now, oftentimes when people talk about go bags, they think of a backpack, like a day pack, which you keep in your car or with you, or kind of you have on your daily carry that you use in case you need to get out of a situation very quickly. You have a bag that you grab and go. Another way you can think about carrying or preparing a go bag is actually luggage, or having kind of pre-packed luggage for an emergency situation. Now, why would you need that? Very good question. Thank you for asking. You never know when an emergency is going to strike, obviously. And oftentimes, what you see on YouTubes all over in different places is that the people are preparing for these kind of catastrophic events in which you lose all, infrastructure, capability, transportation, phone lines, plumbing, you're going out into the woods to survive for a couple days. Well, that never fucking happens, ever. The whole bug out bag thing is just kind of a more of an entertainment thing to me, personally. Because you're more likely going to be in an emergency sleeping on some dude's couch, like your uncle or brother or cousin or something, or getting a hotel room or something. You're not, in the developed world, the ability for a area's kind of resilience to bounce back because of our robust infrastructure that we have is fairly quick. It could be 48 hours to even maybe 2 weeks, 4 weeks. At the very, very longest in most situations, but it's going to be very, very quick in most situations. That's why you'll never see a after-action report written about bug-out bags, because they're never actually ever used, because the context in which they're put together doesn't exist often. It's all kind of fantasy. Now, what is not fantasy, though, is having a bag prepared for just regular travel. Now, the reason why you'd want to do this, to get back to your original question, thank you, is that quite often you might have a medical emergency and have to go to a hospital. Someone else in your family or friends might have an emergency in which you would want to respond to. Maybe even a funeral. Maybe you have a last-minute work event that's happening, or work travel that's happening, where you literally need to just jump on a plane and get out to help a situation, a client, or whatever, or a family member. There's a whole array of kind of more realistic things to think about in terms of being prepared than just kind of like these black swan situations that never seem to happen. The other advantage to having a go bag too is actually not for emergencies, but the opposite, just for fun. I find having a bag packed ready to go for a weekend getaway puts a lot less chore in thinking about whether you're going to go or not. You literally can just grab a bag and leave on a Friday night, and have everything that you need to have packed. And one of the key things about this setup here is there's no guns, there's no knives. This is totally TSA approved, things that are inside here. So it's really going to be, in terms of the list and the things that you're going to be packing, pretty boring, to be quite honest. If I needed to carry just one thing, this would be it. Now, in the previous video, we did kind of go through something very similar about evacuation packing. Now, in that case, what you would do is, if you're carrying more things with you, maybe you're going for a longer trip, you have to check luggage, is that you would have a list of your evacuation items, and you pre-pack those if the situation calls for it, or if you're thinking maybe you might need to go in the middle of the night very quickly, that you would pre-pack your bags for the getting ready for an evacuation. Should that happen, then you're ready to go, and that becomes essentially your travel go bag. If you think about it that way. So you have a bag for travel. You prepare that then for an emergency when you get in country. Very similarly, what I often do is, particularly in situations where maybe I'm just kind of traveling for leisure or for work, and it's not going to be in a dangerous area or non-permissive environment, is I just carry with me in my day pack a stuff sack. And this stuff sack can be used for a lot of different things. You can use it as a makeshift travel pillow. You can use it for washing your clothing inside. So whatever your clothes you're carrying, you can use it obviously to waterproof your gear. If you're in a rainy environment, you want to keep things dry in your pack. You can use it for keeping food in. You can use it for garbage. If you needed to, you could use it for dirty diapers, whatever, situation you wanted to, use it for. It's a very, very multi-purpose, very lightweight addition. And so what I would do is I would just put a change of clothes, all my wallet, this hip pack that I did a video on, a travel go bag, put that inside here. And if a fire alarm went off in the hotel, I need to evacuate the hotel, I'd have my flashlight on my bedstand. I grab this and I go. Don't worry about your luggage. Don't worry about anything. You got everything, or even just this, and you get out of there. This we did a video on, so I'm not going to go into too much detail on it, other than to say that I strip it down, and it has just kind of your basic essentials in there. Have the pointy talkies, money, passport, IDs, emergency cards, and then I have some extras. So this is like emergency battery pack and cables. I always travel with a DC charger because you never know when you rent a car. Lighter, little chem light, and then a pen. I always have a spare pen with me whenever I travel, and so very lightweight, not much else in there. Just keep it as light as possible. Then alongside there, I also have kind of a multi-charger. Again, even if I'm traveling domestic, I still carry this with me because I have 2 USB ports on there, so I can plug 3 things at a time. It is a bit bulky, but this is what I have. It works well. I always keep a kind of a fleece or a casual sweater right on top. That way, if you're cold in an airplane or a hotel, airport, you can just grab this and throw that on. So I always keep that accessible. Money belt, I always carry this with me when I travel, regardless. Just keep it in there. It's lightweight, multi-purpose. Umbrella, toiletry items in a Ziploc bag, so it's easy to go through TSA. And the Ziploc bag itself can be used for things as well. I always recommend carrying extra prescription medicine, which is inside here, and also prescription eyeglasses. For me, I never carry spare eyeglasses. I just carry a spare prescription sunglasses, and it kind of does double duty and is a little bit lighter weight, but that just works for me. Sun hat of some kind, and always have some kind of travel shirt with roll-up sleeves. And what I do is, if I'm carrying 2 bags, if something is going to be checked, I always take this shirt out of this bag, or if it's checked luggage. So I have a change of shirt and my toiletries with me on the plane. So if my luggage gets lost, at least I have a change of clothes and my toiletries, so I can clean up after a long trip. I always carry a sweater, button-down shirts, khaki pants. Generally try to avoid jeans. I always travel at least in nice slacks, collared shirts, and that is for a strategic reason. Tons and tons of people fly these days very casual, which is fine. However, if you're running into trouble, particularly with customer service, and you are respectful and you are actually dressed fairly nice, you get treated much, much different than you are and you're wearing your pajamas and slippers. And that's kind of a general case from all over different types of situations. So I always bring nice casual clothes. The clothes that I also use for my travel is in a capsule style. So if those aren't familiar with the capsule style of dressing, it's a fantastic way to keep everything nice and light. It's focuses on layers. And in fact, it's how James Bond, for those that read the earlier novels, the original novels of James Bond always traveled in capsule style with a blue suit and kind of the same clothing. But again, this is stuff that's always just travel clothes for me. I just keep that reserved, and it's always packed. And then as far as other stuff, scarf, t-shirts, underwear, socks, second pair of shoes, something that's going to be a little bit more, a little nicer than maybe on my travel or carry, be wearing more tennies or something a little more comfortable in flight. But yeah, the beanie and that kind of thing. So really, it doesn't, the idea is you don't want to pack a huge amount of stuff. You want to kind of go slim as much as you possibly can. And then you can always add to it depending on the environment that you're going into as well. But this also then creates a base in which if you are going for a longer trip and you do need to carry more stuff, you have the bulk of your items already packed. So this is my go bag. It's kind of a grab and go situation that I've found has worked out very well. Again, it's about keeping it simple. And keeping it, and this would complement as well my day pack, which we'll do another video on shortly. So this is often just complementing. It's not absolutely everything, but in a pinch, it could be absolutely everything you need to carry. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you've got anything else you want to add, some travel hacks, some ideas, some things to think about, please put them down in the comments below. I like learning from you guys as much as I can and what you do. Again, hopefully you like this, like and subscribe, and more content will be up soon.